go. Good morning. How we doing? Sorry, I was trying to grab my link to put in the comments. I know it seemed to go by fast. I don't know about you, but excuse me, my weekend went by fast. I had a really fun weekend. Well, I also had to finish school, so I was well, not finish school. I had to finish this semester of school. So I finished my second semester of school. I had my final yesterday. I'm excited to know how I did. I'll, of course, let you know. Not that you care, but I thought I might share it with you. So good morning. Happy Monday. So my name is Tina. I am from Massachusetts. I am 54 years old and I am on a health journey. And my health journey has been, I've learned so much about myself, about my health, about the health around me, about, just so many things that I've learned. So I'm just super excited to be here. I really want to share with you what I've learned because it may not be you. It could be somebody that you know that is struggling a little bit with their health and they just need a little, they need to realize that they're not alone, that, you or they need to realize that you're not alone, that there is unfortunately 93% of us who are metabolically unhealthy, which is something that I didn't even realize when I went to the doctors and was told I was a type 2 diabetic. I was never told anything about insulin resistance, metabolically unhealthy, my diet, my exercise, my weight. Like there was so many things that we didn't talk about when my doctor told me I was a diabetic. The only thing that she did tell me was that I needed to fill my pills, right? She said, you're going to fill your tackle box is what Yvette calls it. Fill your tackle box with pills. And, that's about it. Fill that up and take a shot. And then that's it. That's what I was told to do. So I'm grateful that I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about my journey, my health journey, and I come on to share it with you because I just feel like I'm relatable. Like as far as my symptoms that I had, I excused them all away. Like I said, I'm 54 years old. I don't know how old you guys are, but I had excuses for all of my symptoms that I had, and I really want to share them with you. I'll go over a couple of symptoms that I had, what I did to reverse my symptoms and get rid of my symptoms. So I was a really bad type 2 diabetic June of last year. Good morning, everybody. I would love to know where you're coming in from. I'm from Massachusetts, and it's raining crazy here right now, which is fine because recently we've had all the snow. So I will take the rain any day. So tell me where you're coming in from. I would love to connect. I have met some fantastic people all over the world, which is mind-blowing to me. So like I said, I'm in Massachusetts, and I'm just sharing my journey. So I'm going to talk about fiber today, and I know you probably think it's boring, but I didn't realize how bad I was missing fiber in my diet and in my life. And fiber is like kind of amazing, and you just think, oh, it's just fiber, but it's not just fiber. It literally changed with other lifestyle changes, but just adding fiber to my diet has changed I no longer have IBS. I no longer have neuropathy. I no longer have brain fog. I no longer have skin tags. I mean, the list goes on, and I'll go through them with you, but fiber was my key because I didn't have enough fiber. It was a very carb heavy diet. So just switching that one thing, adding fiber. And actually it's kind of funny. I'm in school, like I mentioned. So I'm in school to be a certified nutritionist, right? So, I had just finished up my second course. It's 6 or something, to different classes or whatever I have to take. But I finished up my second one this weekend, and we had an assignment. And this is just because of life, right? You might relate to this. So we had an assignment that we had to do, and we had to take 3 days of our eating, write down everything that we're eating. Good morning, everybody. I would love to know where you're tuning in from, and I really appreciate you guys coming on a Monday morning. It's pretty exciting. I had to write down 3 days of what I ate, put it in a chart and write out the fiber that we had for it. And thank God my teacher's so great. I literally did it for 3 days. I wrote it out. And I literally only recorded protein, knowing like the class is about fiber, but we're so and I was, myself included, all I thought about was protein, right? Protein, that's all I thought about. And protein is so important. And that's been a huge game changer for me as well. But it's just she said, you're not the only one that did this. you just recorded your protein, but I need you to record your fiber. So it woke me up like, all right, so I'm so like focused on my proteins that I put fiber on the back row, and I've quickly learned that fiber is what has changed my life. I had terrible gut issues, and maybe I should take a step back. I had terrible gut issues, probably leaky gut. I had fatty liver. My kidneys weren't doing so well. My pancreas was on overdrive, and this is how I became a type 2 diabetic. And it was 100% the way I ate. I was a terrible eater. I would eat strictly carbs. Only thing my doctor told me was eat 6 small meals a day, eat less, move more. Those are the 2 bits of information I was told. So I was eating 6 small meals a day. But listen, I'm an adult. I should have done more research. I'm not blaming my doctor. I mean, would I have liked her to do a little more conversation with me about my diet? Maybe, possibly, but she didn't. So when she told me that, as I was leading up to being diagnosed with diabetic, yes, my A1C was getting a little higher. My things were changing in my diet. I was gaining some weight. I could feel it. I could feel the bloating. I'll show you a picture. And so I probably should have done some research. I didn't, because diabetes is not in my family. Hello, Haley. How are you? Haley. I think I'm going to say that wrong. Haley. So we know what. So the diabetes is not in my family. I didn't have any. I figured, no way it's going to happen to me. There's nobody in my family that has it. This is all my ignorance. I know that. So that's why I'm talking about it to you. I bring it on and I share my story because one, you may have some symptoms, and I'm not saying you're diabetic. I'm not even saying you're pre-diabetic, but if you have symptoms, you're most likely insulin resistant, which is something that, hi Pink, how are you? Which insulin resistance is something that I didn't even talk about, right? I wasn't even brought up. Okay, so I learned it on my own. I came home from the doctors. She told me my only option were to fill my pills and take a shot. I was supposed to take a couple pills and a shot, and everything would be fine. This is what I was told by her. So I didn't do that. I didn't fill this up. I did use it for vitamins at one point. That's about it. But I didn't do it. I came home, I did some research, I did some digging. I quickly found out that diabetes, type 2 diabetes, not type 1. Type 1 is different. And type 3 is dementia from, insulin resistance of your brain is dementia. So type 2 is what I was. I quickly learned that type 2 is rewindable. You can take control of your diet, take control of what you eat, what you do, exercise, things around you, your fiber, and then you can take control of that, and you can quickly, and I did it quickly. I'm not saying everybody's quickly, but I was at 11.5. A normal at 11.5. Oh, thank you, Lemon. I appreciate that. That was very nice. I was 11.5, and I quickly went down to a 5.2, and I did it naturally, nutraceutically. No, I never picked the pills up. I never picked the shot up. It was because I quickly learned it's what I was doing to myself, right? I was eating heavy carbs. I was eating 6 small meals a day plus snacks. I was eating all day long. I have a very sedentary job. I sit behind a desk at work all day, right? So I don't even have an active job. Some people have very active jobs, so maybe that would work for them. Everybody's different. Not everybody's cookie cutter. That's the other thing. What I'm sharing with you, my story may not be. I really appreciate you, Lemon. You're so sweet. Everything I share with you may not be for you, but it could just give you some information to do some research, if you could, research for yourself, right? So, like I told you, I'm in school. Sorry, for some reason it's just dry in here. I don't know why. It's raining out and I'm dry. Whatever. So anyway, I'm in school to learn about dietitian, right? I'm going to be a certified nutritionist. And this class that I just took is nutrition and the digestive system. So far, I've taken nutrition and the digestive system and nutrition and healthy living. So there was just 2 classes I've taken so far. It's really great. I'm really excited. I can't wait to tell you what my final score is. I'll let you know. I took the final yesterday. So anyways, they talk about just the whole system is what I went through. I'm not going to talk about that with you, just like from when it starts in your mouth. And actually, one thing that I think is pretty cool, like they told you that your saliva, right? Your saliva starts breaking down food the minute that you eat it. The reason why we chew, and you're supposed to really chew well, and this is one thing, I don't want to get off on that, but one thing I thought was pretty cool was You're supposed to really chew your food well, because that's what gets the nutrients in, right? So say he gave an example of rice. Rice, I think he said rice because he was talking about the coating. But the coating, like if you do a one ingredient food, like a natural food, there's usually a coating on it, which is the fiber. But that's not what I'm talking about. But when you chew it, you have to get inside of whatever you're eating to get the nutrients, right? So say steak, you got to really chew it to get it going. Like an apple, you got to really chew it to get the nutrients out. So thought that was pretty cool. So, but the saliva will actually start breaking it down and breaking out the glucose for energy. It's kind of mind blowing when you think about what your body can do. I was like, I didn't know it was all that. It's literally like this whole, I'll show you a picture of it, but I don't want to, this, I did 4 weeks of talking about it. You guys don't need to hear 4 weeks of it, but I don't know if you can see this. We got it in black and white, but so it just goes to show you all of the different steps that included from your brain to your mouth. So when you're about to eat and your mouth starts watering, yes, it probably smells really good, whatever you're about to eat, but it is your body's way of getting ready to eat, right? So the body smells the food, right? This is so cool. Like the body smells the food, so it starts the mouth watering because it knows it's like anticipating the food coming in, and the saliva will start breaking it down the minute you take a bite. I mean, I could do the class on that, but that one I thought was so amazing. I thought that was pretty great, right? So, like I told you, I reversed my diabetes, and I did it in 8 months. I went from 11.5 to a 5.2. A normal A1C is, oh, Gina, good morning. How are you? 11.5 is terrible double, but a normal A1C is 5.7 or below. And there's so many more factors to your health, right? Not just A1C, but it seems to be something that people understand. And unfortunately, that's what your doctors test for. So when you go in for your blood work, an A1C is what they'll talk about. So that's what she did with me. And I was an 11.5. And in 8 months, I went to a 5.2 naturally. Not one of these. I did not pick up any medication or any shots. I did it nutraceutically, which means I did just lifestyle changes. I exercise. I wasn't exercising. I exercise every day. I changed my eating. I no longer eat 6 small meals a day. I broke it down to, I do 2 big meals a day. And I time restrict, eat fast. I don't eat all day long. I stop eating after dinner, and I wait until noontime the next day. And that's going to change a little bit. Right now I do 16 and 8. Right, to help me lose my weight, to help bring my glucose down. But that's going to change a little bit because I'm going to start with, Healy, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. So I'm going to change a little bit because now that I've lost all the weight I got about another 20 more pounds I want to lose. And then I'll be at the healthy weight. But now I want to really start building my muscle. I do muscle training. Every day at the gym. But I really want to start really building my muscle because it's so amazing when your muscles feel strong, right? So I'm going to start adding a little bit more protein. I think I might add a third meal, within, still not eating all day, but I think I'm going to do maybe 15, I'm not going to need to fast as long. I'm going to keep it not eating as much, but I think I'm going to add some more protein in there because I really think that 1, I'm not getting enough protein, and 2, to build the muscle, to regenerate my muscles, I need that. So if anybody has any advice, please put it in the comments. I would love to talk with you guys. I love chatting. If you have any questions or anything I can help you with, please, please, please put it in there. If I don't have the answers, I will find them for you. But I'm just talking about my health journey, and if it resonates with you or somebody that you know, I would love to help. Okay, so the couple things I want to talk about when it comes to changing your life. I had to do a huge lifestyle change. There's no doubt. What I was doing, right? I came to a crossroads. My doctor said, "Listen, you're a diabetic." What she told me, you're going to lose your eyesight. You're going to lose your eyesight, you're going to lose your limbs, you're going to lose your memory, your organs are going to shut down. That's where I was. That's 11.5 or anything higher. I'm at a massive risk of those things happening. So I had to make a choice. I could either say, screw it, and just keep eating that way, keep eating bad, no exercise, just eat what I want, eat when I want, how I want it. I could have very easily done that because, again, I didn't feel sick. I didn't feel type 2 diabetes sick. I had symptoms. I had neuropathy, which was terrible. And I think that was one of neuropathy and IBS were the 2 things that really pushed me over the edge to really make me nervous about, why do I feel this way? Like, what is going on. Neuropathy, if anybody knows anything about neuropathy, please let me know. I know that it was horrible. It was the tingling and burning in my fingers and my feet. I no longer have it, but if you know anybody that has neuropathy, you can tell. I was losing strength, just holding things. I was dropping things. My feet were on fire. I would sleep with my legs up, thinking it was just bad circulation, which I kind of believe that's what it is. It's like you're ruining your nerve cells, with your diabetes. For your fingers. It was awful. So if anybody's ever had neuropathy or knows anything about it, please put a comment in there, and I'll tell you what I know. So I got rid of my neuropathy. I got rid of my IBS. IBS was my gut was bad. I was only giving it carbs. I wasn't giving it even enough water, nevertheless. So what happens if you're dehydrated? I had a nice fancy Stanley on my desk, but I wouldn't drink it. I was only drinking coffee because I was so tired that what I was eating wasn't giving my body what it needed. It would give me like a quick burst, like the carbs that I would eat give me a quick burst. I'd feel good for a little bit, and then I would crash. So then I would think I was hungry again. I'd eat some more carbs, give me a quick burst, and then I'd crash. So my glucose was like this. My body was like this all day long. I'd feel good. All right, so here's one thing. I went to a training, and the nutritionist said, think of your diet as a campfire, right? So when you have your campfire, right? So the logs are your protein and your slow absorbing things that you're going to have. But to get them going, to get your campfire going, you take newspaper, right? You crumple your newspaper, you throw it in the fire. So she was saying that carbs, think of carbs as like the flames. So I'm sorry, not the flames, the newspaper. So you crumple up the newspaper, you throw it in the fire. It burns pretty, it burns high, it burns fast, but that's what it does. It burns fast, and then it goes out. So then what are you going to do? You get a couple more newspaper, and you got to throw it on, right? And then it burns fast, burns high, looks nice. That's what carbs did to my body. I'd feel fantastic. I would feel great. I'd have my oatmeal in the morning. I'd feel great. And then I would crash, right? Because there's not much there. My cells, as I get further down for diabetes, my cells no longer were letting in. The insulin wasn't getting the energy into my cells because my cells were so bad with the glucose covering my cells. So another analogy that I think is pretty good to think about is your cells. We have something crazy like 52 million cells in our body. My cells, because of the way I was eating, with how much glucose I had stored, my cells looked like a glazed donut, right? So it's like a glazed donut. I know it sounds crazy to talk about a donut, but so glazed donut is what I looked like because it's all glucose covering my cells. So things weren't getting in. Things meaning the insulin was trying to bring the glucose in from my energy. So I would stay energy higher and it wasn't happening. So or a plain donut is what I know donut sounds crazy when I'm talking about health, but think about your cells should be like a plain donut. Nothing on it, just plain, But mine looked like a glazed donut because it was so glazed with glucose. And that's how they test your glucose, by the amount of, ickiness. Good morning. How are you guys doing? Please put some comments in. I love to chat with you guys, but I appreciate you being here. Happy Monday. It's raining really bad here right now, but it's better than snow because we had our share, right? In Massachusetts, we got our butt whopped with snow this past winter. So I'm happy with the rain. So that's what was going on, right? So I wasn't feeding my body. My campfire was all over the place. My A1C finally pushed over the limit, and my doctor was like, listen, you have to do something about it. My doctor and I have a very love-hate relationship when it comes to this. She doesn't believe in healing myself naturally with this type 2 diabetes. Even as a non-diabetic, I went last week. I'm no longer a diabetic. She still said, take your metformin just so you don't go back that way. Kind of mind-blowing, but whatever. This is how she feels. I like my doctor. I'll go to her for everything else. I just think that we have a different opinion about healing myself. I was able to, I ate my way to diabetes and I've ate my way out. And she said I did it. She said, you're doing great. She still said, take the medication. She still wanted me to take metformin. So whatever. So I don't need it if I can keep up. So I do know that I say I'm a recovering diabetic because I do know that if I don't keep going, hi Sherry, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. If I don't stay on this track, if I don't keep eating well, exercising, I very well can go back to it. It took me 8 months to reverse my diabetes, to go from the 11.5 to the 5.2, but it only takes 20 days to go it only takes 20 days to go back to being a diabetic, right? So that's one thing that because if you eat bad, if I went back on that path of eating whatever I want, whenever I want, all of those things, that I don't want to do that, and I hope that you don't either. Okay, so quickly, I want to go through a couple symptoms that I had, because maybe it's you, maybe, or maybe somebody who has diabetes or pre-diabetes or just heading down the wrong way, because 93%. So if you go into a room and there's 10 people in the room, 7 of those people are insulin resistant. Is that kind of mind blowing to think? And 50%, which was me, don't even know it. You don't realize it because your doctor just says, okay, watch what you eat, whatever. They may not do the deep dive. There are some doctors who will. So I'm not saying all. I just didn't have one of them. My doctor is not one that gave me any guidance. She just said, lose a little weight, which I get that. I knew I was overweight, and just, eat more. I should have done some research, because I think if I did do that, if I did eat more protein, I think if I ate more healthier options, I think I wouldn't have been in that situation. So I could have very easily have followed her advice, but if I just did some research. So this is why I come on. If, I'm not saying follow my journey, but, do some research for yourself, because, it's mind blowing how much better I feel. I remember having brain fog, skin tags, those black floaty things in your eyes, exhausted all the time because I was living off coffee. I was dehydrated and I'm living off coffee because I'm tired, because no matter what I ate, hi Janine, how are you? No matter what I ate, I was still tired. It was mind blowing. So I'd eat more, eat more, eat more. So before I knew it, I was 60 pounds overweight, because I've lost 40 and I have like another 20 to go. So my journey, I didn't set out to lose weight. I think I had a feeling it was going to happen with a healthier lifestyle, but my back was against the wall with my insides. My insides were a mess. My body was screaming, right? It was giving me skin tags, inflammation. I was inflamed all over. My hands were like big, big sausages. My face was huge. Everything was big. It was just because your body, if you have too much glucose, it doesn't realize it. It just knows there's something wrong. It'll send out signals and things to insulin to attack that glucose, to try to get it out of your system. One, I wasn't drinking enough water to flush it, but so then it has to store it. It has to put it somewhere. If your cells don't want to take it, and it doesn't, my liver was full and my kidneys were a mess. It has to store it. So I became a fat store, not a fat burner. And I wish, and I can't change it, but I wish I knew more about my diet. I had done some research. I tripped across somebody like me who is not, is going to share all of her gossip about her body, that just to get on there and do some research. The internet is an amazing thing, and you'll meet so many great people on here even who are happy to share it, right? So I want to talk about fiber because how much I completely enjoy it. And I want to know your story about fiber. If you guys do have a lot of fiber, I feel like fiber is now like my family, right? So, good morning, Malcolm. Hey, so proud of you. I saw your weigh-in. Malcolm is on an amazing health journey as well. He's next gen in here, so please follow him. He is a rock star, but so good morning, user 528. I appreciate that. So Malcolm is on a health journey as well, and every single week he posts it, and he's losing more weight, and his blood sugar is great. So it's such a good feeling to meet somebody that's on a health journey as well and has success. And listen, these are the 3 things I want to talk about. Not every week not every week I lost weight. Not every week, I had a success. Sometimes I plateaued. Sometimes I even gained a pound or 2. Like, that's okay, because I was adding weight training. So I had to realize that, like, I may not always lose weight, but I'm gaining muscle. So one thing that one piece of advice I found on here from a vet, she said, do a gene test. Try not to weigh yourself every day, because I was adding weights every day and gaining muscle. Yes, I'm losing fat, but the scale doesn't show that, right? So unless you have a fancy scale, then maybe, but I have just a plain one. But she said, do the jean challenge, right? So have a pair of jeans. You must have a pair of jeans or pants in your closet that you've been saving, or you don't want to throw them away. Put them on. If they're too tight, it's okay. Do a little, go a week and try them on again. and see the difference. It's how you feel in those genes. Your scale may not be changing, but your body is changing if you're staying consistent. So these are things I want to say. Be consistent. Don't be perfect. Be consistent. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna run out of time and not work out as much as you usually do. You're gonna go out with some friends and maybe have, some more carbs than you normally do. Live your life, but be consistent. Know in your mind, listen, this is the road I'm on. This is what I want to do. I want to be better. I want to live for my kids. Whatever your why is. This is my why. I don't know if I've ever showed you guys this, but see these 3 handsome studs. These are my sons and their girlfriends and my beau, my pup Beau. But see, okay, here it is. Here's the picture. What are the pictures? See how swollen I was? This was just, and I have a coat on. It's like June, and I have a coat on because I think if I'm wearing a coat, you can't tell that I'm fat. I don't know what I was thinking, but so anyways, this is my why. Have a why, right? So what my why is, someday I want to have grandchildren, and I want to be able to play with them. I want to be able to be active. I want to be able to bring my own groceries in. I want to be able to, walk tall. I had an amazing, amazing, amazing mother-in-law who I loved with all my life, and I still do, and I think about her every day. Fortunately, she didn't have I didn't know, right? She was a diabetic. She also, when she retired, she was happy to retire from work, but she just sat and watched TV and enjoyed her life. But it caught up with her. Her knees got really bad. She couldn't walk as easy. She had a hard time. Then her heart was giving her a hard time. We lost her to COVID, but I could just cry thinking about it because she was so amazing. But so I think that if I had known now, if I knew then what I know now, I could have helped her. I could have at least got her going, or with her diet. I could have helped her with her diet. Hence why I'm doing nutrition and being a certified nutritionist. I'm not saying I'm going to solve the world, but if I can share what I've learned, because some people, I didn't know what I know now I'm in these classes saying, are you kidding me? I'm 54 years old. I had no idea. No idea. Because if you turn on the TV, they don't share these things with you. They share, take this shot, right? This shot will fix you. These pills will fix you. That's what you see, unfortunately. If you want healthy, if you want, good morning, my Lega. Thank you so much for joining. If you want a healthy life, you have to go figure it out. Unfortunately, the TV isn't going to tell you. The internet will. If you Google it and do some research, do it just please for yourself. If it's not for you, maybe you have a mother-in-law or a mom or somebody that that you can tell has the skin tags, because skin tags I thought was an older person thing. It is not. It is just insulin resistance sign, like the coloration, the skin tags. If somebody's having a hard time with stomach, if they say, I shouldn't eat that, because this is what I want to talk about today. I learned, sorry. Somebody's trying to come. I learned that, your stomach. So, all right. So there's 2 different types of fibers. Like I told you, fiber is my friend. Fiber is now my friend. But have you ever had anybody have? Now, I had IBS to the point that it was mind-blowing. If I go to the store, I'd have to make sure I know there was a bathroom. Whatever. No matter what I ate, it's called dumping. Okay, so I know this is going to sound crazy, and I know it's going to sound terrible to tell you this, but it's called, there's actually a name for it. Oh my gosh. It's called dumping, but it has a first name to it. And I don't want to say it wrong. So your stomach will, how it empties. Okay, we're going to say empties because I think it sounds better first thing in the morning. I'm going to say empties. So when I would eat something, so say I had something that I wasn't going to, if somebody has celiac disease, has, the dating life is just fine. I don't have a situation, I'm just, I'm healthier now. That's all. I feel fantastic. So, dumping syndrome. I know it sounds crazy and I hate to say it. I think I'm just going to say emptying. When you eat something when you eat, you chew it, goes to your stomach brings it to the small intestine. And in the small intestine, you have these little cilias, these little finger-like things that come in and they grab the nutrients from that cilia, from what you eat. So say one piece you eat is a piece of chicken. You're going to chew it really well, get the nutrients out, goes to stomach mixes some bile in there, puts it to the small intestine. The small intestine had these little finger things. There's like thousands of them, right? That they're in the tube of the small intestine, and it grabs the nutrients and it pulls it out. It pulls it out that's how you get the nutrient. Then it goes into your bloodstream. From the bloodstream, those little finger things pull it into the bloodstream. Now, say you have an allergy to dairy. I don't know. So when you go to eat, you eat it. It gets to the stomach pushes it to the intestine. Those little cilias don't like it or are allergic to it or whatever it is. They'll pull back. They won't touch the food, right? And so sometimes when you see blood in your stool, that's what that's from. They can break when they pull back. They can pull back and they can break. And so they won't touch it. It'll just sit there, right? So now your body is going to send in a bunch of water to flush it, to keep it moving. That's where the dumping comes in. Like how it comes out, right? So you've eaten something that your body doesn't like. Those little cilia things pull back. Now it's in your intestine. So now your intestine will send water. Your body will send some water through to push it through. So then that's how you go to the bathroom. They say it goes right through you. Well, it does, right? So that's one thing that's what that means, right? So fiber slows that down. So that's why when I have my meals, I start with fiber. I start with fiber because it gets into my stomach, gets into my, so I am so sorry about that. I know about what hemorrhoids are, but I don't know how to fix that. And I don't know if hemorrhoids are a dietary thing. I wish I knew. We haven't talked about that. If anybody in the chat has any, advice from my friend, please bring it up. I'm so sorry about that. I've known people with them, but I don't know much about it. I'm very sorry. I wish I could tell you. I know that my son, every once in a while, he was having some bad stomach issues. He would get blood in the stool and he'd be freaking out. But then it would happen again, and it was because of what he was eating. His little cilia things would break off and he would have some blood in his stool. There's millions of different reasons. Please do not take my word for gospel. It could be, definitely if you're having blood in your stool, talk to your doctor. I am just saying that in my instance, when I was having that extra dumping and I'd have that, it was because of what I was eating. So I added fiber to my diet. So fiber is your friend. I know it seems crazy. So like I told you, I had an assignment to list what I ate for 3 days. I listed the protein like a boob, but I didn't. So once I went in and redid it and I did the fiber, women are supposed to have 25 grams of fiber a day, and men are supposed to have like 34 or something like that. I'm going to see what she said. The teacher said 34, I think, was for men, or 35 class. Okay, let me see. So women are supposed to have 38. You guys have to have 38 grams of protein. I'm so sorry, of fiber. So 25. So we're lucky. We have to have less. So, but there's so many ways you can get fiber. But I quickly learned that I don't have enough fiber. I had one day I had enough fiber, but not, 20, 22 is what I average. So I need to bump it up a little bit. But fiber has been such a great blessing because I don't get that dumping. Gives my body a chance to get the nutrients out of what I am eating, right? So say I do have, I'll have fiber first. My fiber is a matrix fiber. It's a little drink that I drink, and you can get them at the store. There's a bunch of different ones that you can get at the store, but the one that I have is it's an 7 matrix fiber, soluble and insoluble fiber. I just drink it before I eat. It's gels, so it fills up my stomach even more so that I don't eat as much. That's probably part of my weight loss. Probably part of my weight loss is the fiber that I'm drinking. So I drink it first, it gets into my stomach, and then it gets my stomach going, coats my stomach. So I didn't have that. So I think that's how I got leaky gut, because I wasn't having anything to coat my stomach. I would just eat carbs. All that bile was moving in my stomach. My coating was getting ruined because I wasn't giving it the fiber that it needed. So that's how you get leaky gut and ulcers, right? You have too much bile, not enough there's other reasons, but that's probably how I did it. So the bile was, my fiber wasn't coating my stomach. So I've changed that. That was then, this is now. So now I have my fiber, it coats my stomach, and now here comes my protein and my vegetables or whatever I want to eat, and my carbs. I have carbs. Carbs are not the enemy. Carbs do not need to be first. I need my carbs to be last, because when they're last, your body will take those carbs and put them into the muscles because your muscles need glucose, to work out and to survive, and your brain does. So if you have a little bit after the protein, because the fiber and the protein will keep your stomach busy, and it'll keep those little phalange things going, right? Those little cilia things going, and they're going to take the nutrients and put it into your bloodstream, right? So this is just a good working body. So there's insulin resistant, which was me because I had way too much insulin. My insulin was had nothing to share with my body. It would just take what I ate, and it would just store it because there was nothing there. There was no protein. So I was insulin resistant. To be insulin sensitive, meaning that my insulin is working great, my pancreas is working great, there's no problems. There's only 12% of us that have that. So that's a big deal. So I want to be insulin sensitive. Do I think I'm 100% there yet? No. I do think that I'm on a fast track to being that way. I'm no longer a diabetic. But I'm going to always, I think it's one of those things that you're always, once a diabetic, always in your brain a diabetic. You have to be very careful. But I'm in recovery, right? So I'm not going to go back there again. I'm never going to be a type 2 diabetic again. I never want to be that swollen person wearing a coat in the summertime because I feel amazing. I have the energy of before I was 40 years old. I have the energy. I have no brain fog. I have no neuropathy, no IBS, because all I've done is added fiber, and I've changed my eating. I do time restricted eating. I do 16 and 8. Doesn't mean you have to do that. Everybody's different. I do know the longer you can do some fasts, which help heal your cells. My cells were a mess. My cells were a mess from eating all that glucose. So just that, sorry about that. My little bra keeps showing, sorry. Just healing my cells from all of the damage that I've done to it has been a game changer. And I can feel it. So I went to the eye doctor. My eyesight is better. I no longer have those black floaty things. I have no diabetes in my eyes and no glaucoma in my eyes. And actually, he said when I go back in 6 months, which would probably be, I think, August, I'll be able to up I think it's take my prescription back. My eyes are better. However that goes. Less in my prescription, I guess, because my eyes are getting stronger. And so I don't, I can't not have these on, but my eyesight is better. So I could have a lesser strength, I guess you'd say. So that's a fun thing to go get older and your eyes are getting better. Kind of feels good, but it was because I had too much glucose in my body. So fiber is your friend, right? Oh, thank you, Mary. You're so sweet. I appreciate you. Fiber is your friend. Okay. So I'll talk really quick and then I have to go to work. So I'm going to talk about some different fibers, right? So you think fiber, like I take a drink. I have a drink every day, which gives me 8 grams of my fiber. This little drink here gives me 8 grams. So if I have it twice a day, that's already 16 grams of fiber. I only need 25. So those 2 packets alone always know that I'm getting almost enough fiber. I just need to add a little bit more, right? So apples with the skin, and I think it's important that you have the skin because the skin is the fiber. Anything that's wrapped in, right? So nature will wrap all the food that has a coating is natural. That is the fiber. So yes, we peel the skin or whatever, but that is the big part, right? So banana. So these are some really good fiber ones are vegetables, which is really good. Broccoli is a fantastic fiber, but broccoli for me gives me. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Destiny. I appreciate that. I'm going to follow you right back when I get off of the live because I don't know how to do it while we're on live. So the vegetables, broccoli for me, broccoli has a lot of, artichoke, asparagus. Broccoli has a lot of fiber, but if it's raw, it gets me a little gassy. I don't want to, thank you, Mary, for the follow. I'm going to follow you right away. So I have to cook my broccoli. So do I know, and I asked the teacher, if you cook broccoli, does it still have the same amount of fiber? I don't know that answer to that, so I don't want to lie to you, but I love cooked broccoli, so I could cook a bunch of it and eat it, but if I have it raw, it gets me bloated and gassy. Not that you needed to know that, but I think I should tell you that anyways. So whole grains, which are good for you. Brussels sprouts has a lot of broccoli. Green peas, believe it or not. Actually, artichoke has the most, and green peas has the next most. I never would have thought that. Okay, Wheat Bran. So I'm sure Wheat Bran has the most on this sheet, has 11.3 grams of fiber. But also, I think you can do wheat bran, but I wouldn't add a bunch of sugar to it. Or I wouldn't, you know, if you can do that. I do like wheat bran cereal. It must be because I'm older, right? So I think that's good. But so wheat bran was the most one. But things that you can have: broccoli, carrots, green beans, kale, sweet potato. Sweet potato is my jam. I don't know about you. I love sweet potato. I like to bake it. I like to do a bunch of things to it. Cut it up and put it in like chunks in dinner. Last week I made sweet potatoes. I should talk about recipes with you guys. I took and baked 6 sweet potatoes for my family. We cut them in half. Cut it in half, and I put taco meat on each side with some cheese and lettuce. And the kids had sweet potato tacos. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was so good. It was a meal in its own. I love sweet potatoes. I think because they taste sweet and they taste like candy to me, I'm thinking this can't be good for me. But if it is good for me and it tastes that way, yes, please. I'll have it. Give it to me. Okay, so that's it. So you can have fruit. You can have, obviously, as a diabetic, in my brain, I'm always afraid of fruit that's, you know, too much sugar. So I got to be careful with that. But if I have my fiber and I'm adding my fruit with all of that, hi Rayo, how are you? If I'm having my fruit and adding my fruit with that, I'll be fine with that. So, okay, guys, listen, I'm late for work. I got to get to work. But fiber is your friend. If you are on a health journey, please do these things for me. Be consistent. Don't be perfect. Be consistent. Be patient with yourself because you're changing yourself. I changed my my whole life. I exercise. I didn't do that before. I'm eating a very thank you, Britt. I'm eating a very clean diet, which is like I try to always think of like a 1 ingredient diet item that's really huge to do. So you want to do that and celebrate the small wins. Malcolm, you better celebrated your win because you had a great win yesterday. So my small wins, if I had a day that I was like, you know what? I felt good. I felt energy. I went to the gym. I did these things. I did some research. I did my school. Like anything that makes you feel like a better person today than when you were yesterday, celebrate it. Talk about it. I come on here and tell you guys, talk about it. Share it with me. Send me a message. This is my phone number. If you are international, you can reach me on WhatsApp on that phone number or my email address. Let's just share your wins. It's amazing. Like, I'm not saying like don't buy something, but celebrate it. Realize that you're doing a good thing. Be better today than you were yesterday. If you can do that, try to do that, the best you can. But if you have any questions about my fiber that I take, send me a message. I love it, love it, love it. Like I said, it gives me 8 grams of fiber 16 grams of fiber out of the 25 I have to have a day. It's a no-brainer. And then if I add some broccoli, asparagus, whatever else I could have, I'll add it to it. But it's huge. So anyways, fiber is your friend. Be patient with yourself. I hope you have a fantastic Monday. It's always so nice to meet new people. Guys, I appreciate you so much coming on and being kind, and I look forward to coming back. I love you all, and happy Monday. Thanks, guys, so much. Please reach out for any questions. If I don't know it, I can find out for you. I have some fantastic people that I talk to on a daily, and I would love to share. I want you to be healthier, right? Spring's coming. Well, spring is here, just raining, but summer's coming. You want that energy, feel good, right? Take that sun in. But guys, I love you all. Thank you.